If you've been trying to figure out how to make some moves on gold and capitalize on insane moves like this inside of the market, well, you're in the right place because in this video, I'm not only going to share my trading plan, but I'm also going to share my entries, my exits, and my profit targets on gold for this upcoming week. I'm LaKiesha, and let's hop right into it. So, if we're looking at the gold market for this past week, you can see that there's been an insane move, and this was mainly because there was two news events this week. One was CPI, which is consumer price index, and the other is PPI, which is producer price index. Basically, both of those measure the difference in how much stuff costs from one month to the next. So in this particular video, we're going to talk about how we can prepare ourselves for the upcoming week. So let me get that gone, and then let's go ahead and hop on the 1 week. As usual, obviously this week has a really massive candle, and I've been saying for the past few weeks that I am very bullish on gold. And as you can see, price has been constantly bullish. So we have all of this right here. I was able to catch some moves from this particular candle, and I will be doing a breakdown on that because that was a really nice profit of about $7,500 for gold just this week. And then I did another video. I did about $2,500 last week. So that's almost 10K in gold alone this month. So let's continue to roll. All right, so one of the things that I want to mark off initially is the very top of this move. So the market is closed now, so now I feel a lot comfortable marking this off, and this is at 25.84. I had a feeling that price was going to come up beyond 25 like 50, but it went way past that. So let's just go ahead and mark it off, so that way for next time we have some sort of guidance. So I'm going to copy this, and then the next thing I'm going to draw on this weekly time frame, I'm going to draw another level at 24.94, and this is really close to 2500, which is a nice psychological level. And then another level I am going to draw on the weekly is this level around 2530. So this level is a nice psychological number, and the reason why I'm marking this off, let me actually make this a little bit bigger. It's getting a little difficult to see. So one of the reasons why I'm marking this level off is because we have three candles right here, and then they all have wicks that stopped about this area right here. So basically I'm just looking at the average of that, and then I'm marking it off. So there's also another level that I do want to mark off on the weekly, and that's right down here around 24.25, another amazing psychological level. Now when we go down to lower time frames, these numbers will adjust a bit, but just right now with placing them, it just looks really good. So I like this level right here, mainly because we have a nice support, and then we have a strong push off, and as you can see, it's basically the same move that just happened here. So I like that level, and then another level I do want to mark off because although I am more so bullish on this market obviously can't go up forever. So I want to map out what it may look like on the downside. So that's why I'm marking this level off at around 2368 at this point. And then we're going to do one more level here on the weekly, and then we're going to make adjustments on lower time frames. So the next one is going to be at 2294. And that is looking good. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and go to, now we're in the weekly, let's go to the daily time frame. All right, and then let me scoot all of this back in so we could all see. So just kind of looking at this big picture, you can see how all of these lines are matching up perfectly with different levels. And that's one of the key things that I look for inside of the market. Let me get rid of that. Yes. All right, cool. So when it comes to the daily, basically I'm just checking my levels just to make sure that it looks good to me. So right now this top looks very good. Price hasn't gone up there before. It's now a new all-time high, so it's just going to stay there. And then this level right here at 20, 25, 29, 30-ish time or price area. Basically, it's matching up with all the wicks right there, so that's going to stay there. I am looking at this level right here. I think I do want to make some adjustments, so I'm just going to play around with this for a second and see how things look. Okay, I'm already liking this. I'm actually liking this better at 2483, mainly because we have a nice support here. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Oops. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I moved this right here because we have a really nice support. We have two nice rejections. These are huge rejections here. And then we also have rejections that are also, they're almost touching it, but they're still in the vicinity. So definitely want to keep that. And I may draw some additional levels when we go down to lower time frames, but right now this is looking great. And then if we look at this level right here, just kind of inspecting it, I do see a level right here that I could possibly draw. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm just going to make a copy and paste one of these old zones so that way we're not drawing all these lines brand new. So it's kind of difficult to place this because we have a support here, then we also have a resistance here with all of these rejections. So for right now, I'm just going to keep it right here, and it's really close to 2450. So nice psychological, especially on gold. So we're going to keep that right there for now. And then we also have this area right here where we have a support. We have some touches here at this level. Let me look to the left and see if it gives me some clues as to where I should really place my line. So I'm just going to play around with this a little bit. Basically just looking for a good level. Ooh, okay, so actually I do like this. Okay, so so I do like this level. So playing around just for a few seconds, I could see that if I move this level here, the nice support is around 2360, 62. So support here, we also have a touch. And then if we look left, we also have a resistance that has formed. This was a fake out, but we also have another resistance and another resistance. So price really likes this level. So I feel a lot more confident with placing this level. So that is going to stay there. And then right here at the bottom, just going to make some adjustments just a little bit, mainly because we have nice support, and then we also have kind of a little fake out situation, but we also have quite a few rejections, and then we also have a support right here. So that's looking really good to me, and this level is now at around 2291. So that's looking good. So let's go back up to the top. This is still looking great. Just trying to just do a sanity check before I move on to the next level. All right, let's go to for our chart. And then we're going to reset so we could see everything. So now that we got more candles, things are a little bit more squished. So we just want to make sure that we can see everything just on this 4-hour chart. So just looking at it, top still looks good right here. This looks good. I really like the fact that there's all these little rejection wicks. We do have this sitting right on top, but I still like it. This right here, okay, so this is a little bit challenging. So one thing that I'm seeing right here, I'm seeing a nice resistance level right here, but then I'm seeing some support here. It's not quite touching the line, and then I also see another like more supports here, and then I see some gaps right there. So let me just get rid of that. So one of the things that I want to play around with on this level is see how it would look if I will pull this down. So let's go ahead and pull it down. Okay, I'm loving the way that it's looking right here. If I put it where it's basically touching the body of the candle. Sometimes I'll touch the wick, sometimes I'll touch the body, but as you go down in time frames, you will see that it's more so touching the bodies. So I like the way this looks. And then looking over here, it is touching. There is a little overlap, but I like it. So we're going to keep it. And looking at this level right here, this is one of the newer levels that we drew, I believe. It's looking like it, yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull this down to about right there. Wow, 2440 is sitting there perfectly, so we're going to leave it alone. It looks great. And then right here, I'm just looking left just to see what is falling into this area. So we have a nice support. We have this little fake out. We kind of have a support here with some gaps, and then we have a nice support here, rejection, and then we have some wicks. I think I'm going to leave that alone for right now. And then looking at this level right here at 2362, I may want to move this. So let me see how this looks. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm definitely moving it. So this level, I moved it to about 2350, mainly because we have a nice support here. Even though we did have this really big wick that came down and rejected, if we look to the left, we can see that we have support all throughout here. That's a really strong level. So I want to keep that, and then, yeah. So let me scoot this in. It's getting a little bit difficult. Okay. All right, cool. So now let's look at this last level. Couple of things I wanted to look at was these rejections here, still sitting nicely on top of that line. And then the other thing I wanted to look at was these levels right here. I think I'm going to leave these. These actually look really good. So now let's go down to the 2 hour time frame. Now that we've done a lot of the hard work on the higher time frames, let me reset this. All we have to do now is just kind of look at it and make sure it still makes sense. So we're just going to move it in quite a bit and just kind of look at the levels and see if everything is looking as we think it should. So, of course, your charting style may be a little bit different than mine. It's totally okay. It's not, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be something that makes sense to you. And this is what makes sense to me. So, this is still looking good. I do see some levels that I may want to add, maybe on H1, but looking at this that we adjusted is still looking great. Okay, and then this is still looking good right in here. This was a newer level that we adjusted, or actually it was a level that we adjusted. It wasn't necessarily a new level. And then down here, this is also looking good still. All right, cool. H1, let's roll. All right, let's adjust it. Okay, cool. So now that we're on the H1 time frame, this is one of my favorite time frames, mainly because I take a lot of my entries on this time frame. So we're going to spend some time going over the plan. So before we get into the breakdown for gold this week, because there's going to be some amazing moves, I wanted to tell you about my Profitable Traders Academy. And if you're serious about becoming a trader, you definitely don't want to miss this, especially a profitable trader. So I'm offering some founding member spots inside of my community, and that way you'll get direct access to me. I've made well over $100,000 in the markets and counting from trading, and I want to share those trading strategies with you, along with some tools that have helped me become a consistently profitable trader. These things will also help you as well. And inside of this membership, you will also get live coaching calls in order to tackle the market in real time. You'll also get a one-on-one onboarding session with me to help you up for success right when you start. You'll also get a personalized chart review from me to help you add an extra $1,000 per month to your trading. And plus, if you choose the annual plan, we'll trade live together once a month, so that way you can follow my exact steps. Oh, and you'll also save 6% on that plan too. So spots are definitely limited. So grab yours today. Go ahead and sign up at profitabletradersacademy.com. I will see you there. All right, so here we are on the H1 time frame. Let's go ahead and talk about this week's plan, especially because there are going to be some amazing moves that will happen, and I am already coming up with my game plan along with this charting plan that I'm about to show you right now. So one of the things that I see right off the bat here is basically we have this really nice support at 25.65. Now, this was part of that whole CPI PPI volume that we saw earlier inside of the market this week. But now that we have some market structure, we can come up with a game plan of our own in order to be able to capitalize next week. So I want to mark off this level right here, mainly because this is a really strong support. This obviously is a really strong resistance because price came up to this point and now is starting to reject. So price could do multiple things. So one of the things it could obviously do is continue to go straight up and go somewhere we have no idea. And because we don't know where that price could potentially go, I don't want to really mess with anything above this level, mainly because I don't know where it's going to go. I like for the market to tell me where it wants to go, and then I follow. So this is basically, it's going to be a no trade zone because we don't know where it's going to go if it goes anywhere. So one of the things I would want to see for sure is for price to come back into, I want to see price come back into this zone that I just marked off. So I wanted to come back into here, and then I want to buy all the way up to here. But of course, price on gold can do whatever it wants, and sometimes it may like a little bit steeper retracement. So perhaps price may come back to this level around 25.50. I'm already liking it because it's a really nice psychological level. So let's just say price did a deeper retracement. and I want it to come, or say if it comes to right here and then it goes up there. So that's a trade idea that I have for this upcoming week. And then of course, price could do an even deeper retracement all the way back down to 25.30 and then go all the way up. So my bias on this market is definitely buys for sure. But of course, as you know, at this point, I like to trade both sides. I like to see what could potentially happen if the price goes up or down. So looking at market structure right here, this would pretty much be the first indication for me that price could continue to go down if it breaches this level. So let me just put my little arrow right here. So right there, and then of course I talked about buys up here. So let's move that right there. So a couple of things that I see along the way. I do see a couple of obstacles. The biggest one, you can see that I have an alert right here, but basically is at 2500 flat. This is a very nice level. Price has played in this zone quite a bit. If you look to the left, then you will see that price has been bouncing in and out of the zone for weeks, possibly months, if you go way back. But anyway, I know what's happening there. But anyway, this is a level that I would like to potentially take a trade from. And I say potentially because, as you can see, even though this is a major level of structure, price or market structure really has not been broken until really about this zone right in here. Actually, let me put another like level right there. Okay, like till like about this zone right here. So I would still be looking for buys for the most part. This short would be a short-term short unless price really came down below this level right here and then all the way down here. If it breaks this, for sure, if it breaks this, yes, there's opportunities for shorts, at least the way that I trade. But definitely if it breaks this 2500, for me, that's more of definite shorts, possibly down to this level. And of course, if you look at what price did in the past, it did bounce off this level, but with enough volume, it could break through this level and continually go down to about right there. So this is pretty much my game plan for the upcoming week. If you enjoyed this type of analysis, then go ahead and let me know in the comment section that you were watching this video until the end, because most people click out. I see the analytics, and those people typically are not the people who are making money in these markets, but you have the potential to do so because you are still here. So let me know that you're still here, and I will see you in the next video.